everybody, it's Geordie from Geordie Colours. Thank you so much for joining me and welcome to another episode of Sunday Snippets. I've got quite a lot to talk to you about today. But the first thing I want to start with is something that I think is just an amazing thing that's going on in our community for the month of February. I'm going to put an infographic up here for you, and it's all been spearheaded by the amazing Jo at Piggy Pens Tube. So Jo has come up with this idea of colouring for cancer, and she wants to raise money for the World Cancer Research Fund. And there's loads of things going on, but one of the most exciting things, and I just think this is brilliant, is a 24-hour tubeathon. I think we've all heard of telethons back in the day when we were young. You used to phone in and donate money for all sorts of things. This is a tubeathon, so it's going to be a 24-hour event where your favourite YouTube colourists get on, do a live session for 80 minutes each, 10-minute break in between each one, so you get a chance to go to the toilet, grab a snack, get a drink, whatever. And that's going to be going throughout the day on the 1st of February, starting at midnight Greenwich Mean Time on the 1st of February and going right through until 10 to midnight on the 1st of February. So a full 24 hours of colouring. Tons and tons of just like faves, colouring YouTube faves on there. I'm not part of that, but I'm really excited about it. I am definitely hoping to be able to pop in and catch some of those lives, depending on what's going on that day. I'm hoping I can see as much of it as possible. But as I said, this is all to raise money and awareness for World Cancer Research Fund, and I just think this is such an amazing initiative by Jo at Piggy Pens Tube. I lost my own dad to cancer when I was 17 years old, and it has affected me hugely throughout my life. So it's something that I feel really passionate about, and I hope that you guys will all get behind this as well. So there are a number of ways to get behind this. Number one is that you can follow that tubeathon and donate some money. You can donate money throughout the month of February. It doesn't have to be on that specific day. And that will be to a Just Giving page that Piggy Pens Tube has created for this wonderful month. And I will leave Jo's channel linked down below along with that video where you can find out all the information about this. So yeah, like I said, that tubeathon will be starting midnight the 1st, Greenwich Mean Time, and we'll be running through till 11:50 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time on the 1st. I'll give you the lineup because it's so cool. She's got Amy Warder starting off in New Zealand. She's then got Axic Fumbles in Ireland, Hollyberry Colours in Texas, The Art of Momo in Central USA. She's got Lauren Reed Colour in Israel, Spare Room Studio in Central Australia, Colouring by Kamama in the Netherlands. Piggy Pens Tube is joining in from Yorkshire. Zacatissimo is in Romania, Elm Colours in Eastern USA, Colour with Claire in England, Emily Illustrator in Central USA, Neko Simi Colouring in Czechia, Colouring Bumblebee back in England again, Zoo Vera Art back in the Netherlands, and then All J Art in Scotland. Such a huge lineup, really exciting. Some of my absolute favourite colouring YouTubers there, and I'm really excited about that. She is using the hashtag colouring for cancer, and basically you can join in, as I said, in a multitude of ways. Number one would be obviously to donate to that amazing cause through the Just Giving page that Jo at Piggy Pens Tube has created. And again, I'll leave all that link down below if you want to go and check out her channel, find out where you can donate. Another really exciting thing is RJ Hampson has kindly agreed to create an image for this event, which he will be providing on his website, so you can go and purchase that, download it, and the proceeds from that sale will be going again to that Just Giving page for World Cancer Research Fund. Such a huge thing. I just love RJ Hampson, the fact he's so invested in the colouring community and getting involved and stuff like this. It's really cool. Can't wait to see that image. I'm really looking forward to that. I don't have a printer at the moment. I'm going to have to try and find a way that I can download and print that off so that I can colour that in. So obviously, yeah, 2 ways that you can join in there already. Raising awareness is just a huge thing. So posting this on your Instagram, if you've got a YouTube channel, sharing it on YouTube, raising awareness for this amazing cause, raising awareness for the amazing good work that World Cancer Research Fund do. You might want to join in other ways. You might want to join in with your own 24-hour colour-a-thon, maybe get family and friends to sponsor you, which you can then donate to that Just Giving page. Joe from Piggy Pen's Tube has also come up with this great idea of hashtag one less book. So we all do it. We all buy ourselves a colouring book every now and then. Rather than buying that colouring book, donate that money to the World Cancer Research Fund instead. So yeah, lots and lots of ways to get involved. Doesn't necessarily have to mean a monetary donation, but just raising awareness, keeping people informed. Yeah, all sorts of stuff you can do. And I just think it's really exciting and fun, and such a cool thing for our community to be involved in. And with so much, let's be honest, so much craziness going on in the world, so much scary stuff going on in the world, it's really nice to have something positive to think about and to work towards, and something that will make a big difference in people's lives. So really, really super behind this amazing initiative, and a huge thank you and shout out to Joe at Piggy Pen's Tube for creating this. I think it's amazing. Okay, moving on from that onto what I have been doing lately. There's not been much going on the channel this week. I apologise for that. It's been a bit crazy going back to work, going back to school. We had some snow, very exciting. We had snow overnight on Thursday. It came down really thick and fast. A lot of schools were closed on Friday. My own kids' schools were closed. Mine was still open, so I was still working on Friday. But yeah, there's a lot of snow, and it's now kind of melted and then refrozen and just kind of turned into sheet ice now. So it's like lethal walking out the door. But it was very exciting. So not much going on the channel. I did do a video showcasing all my untouched books, and that was a really long video. A lot of people said they really liked that. So that's really cool. So I did do that. Other than that, I have done a little bit of colouring. So I did get my page done in my colouring planner. It's a very quick little illustration here. And I used my Ohuhu alcohol markers for that. And I saw that Joe from Piggy Pen's Tube had done this fun thing where she did kind of rings. So she didn't actually blend the colours out. She just created these rings. And I thought that looked like such a cool idea that I decided to try it out myself. And rather like the way that's turned out, actually. It's quite neat. So I did do that page. Last week we were working on this page from Mythographic Magical Earth by Joseph Kattenbang, and I had started this with you. I did finish that off. I'm not hugely happy with it. Looking at it again, I don't think it's too bad. I don't particularly like my colour choices. I don't know. Yeah, struggled a little bit with that page, but it's done, and that's a good thing. So I'm happy with that. So I did get that one finished. I've made a couple of starts. I know I'm being a bit rebellious. I'm not finishing pages. I am having a few whips on the go, which I'm actually quite enjoying, and I'm finding it a little bit more productive because I don't end up just getting stuck on the same page. So in Moon Valley by Maria Trolle, this is my project book with the lovely Dana from Dabble D, and we had previously been working from front to back. And we decided that we wouldn't do that anymore. We decided it was kind of like becoming a little bit, it was kind of stagnating, you know, like we were getting a bit stuck sometimes with some of the pages. So we decided that by mixing it up, we might be able to keep it a bit fresher. So we've moved further on into the book. And these are the 2 pages that we are working on for this month. And as you can see, I've done backgrounds. This was an experiment for sure. I used my luminance pencils to create these backgrounds, and I kind of went way outside the box and did something completely different, particularly on this side, with my colours and the way I approached it. And I really wasn't sure it was going to work out. And I actually think it's okay. I actually rather like it. I do like the luminance on this paper. They're so vivid and bright. I love them. So I quite like how this one turned out. This one is looking a little less, the transitions are not as smooth as I would have liked. I think hopefully I can cover that up a little bit when I colour the rest of the page. But I have made a start on those. I've done the majority, which is the background. It's always the hardest part for me. So yeah, I'm looking forward to colouring those pages. So that was what I've done in Moon Valley. I have also started a page in So Many Cute Animals by Kimmer Parrish. And this is a buddy colour with the lovely Zoe from Zoe's Cozy Colouring. And January is her birthday month, so she said, can we do a birthday kind of inspired page? And we chose this one. It's got a lovely birthday cake here. It's a cute little cake shop. And I am doing this with my Derwent Chroma Flow pencils and just keeping it really basic, just like a couple of pencil blends. Sorry, I'm trying to pick that up. It is really ultra smooth paper, like really smooth paper. I actually think this paper would be awesome for alcohol markers, but it is double-sided, so it makes it tricky to use alcohol markers on. But the paper is like, it feels like really good alcohol marker type paper. Unfortunately, that doesn't particularly work well with coloured pencils. They don't go on particularly well, and it's quite hard to get layers. It's quite hard to get smooth blends. But so far I'm liking it. I've got this fun little colour palette picked out. This was a Joanna Stone colour palette from her Love Treats set. This is the colour palette called Heart Shaped Macrons. And yeah, I've just chosen a few fun, bright, kind of pastel-y kind of colours. And I'm looking forward to colouring the rest of this. I don't think it's going to take very long. I'm not doing anything in the background here. I will colour the steps. I don't know if I'll do anything down here, but other than that, I'm keeping it as is. I don't think it needs much else. So yeah, looking forward to finishing that one. That one's going well, and I'm enjoying that one. But today, I thought we could try doing or starting a page in this book. This is the Classic Fairy Tales book by Paperfly. It's a Korean colouring book. I actually got my copy from Vinted, but it is gorgeous and it's full of beautiful fairy tales. And I really want to do this Rapunzel page because obviously my fairy tale for the Colour the Fairy Tales hashtag is Rapunzel, and you know, might as well do a page that relates to the fairy tale. So let me grab a backer sheet here I can pop in between. So yeah, and I'm thinking of using my Derwent drawing pencils on this page because they're lovely muted colours, and I think for all these kind of tower bricks and things here, I could take inspiration from this page and use them over here. So that's what I'm planning on doing. I don't know this kind of yellow border around it. I don't know that I'm going to do that. I may just do either a rectangle around it or a circle, which I probably will do in this really pale yellow colour. It's almost a creamy yellow, but I'm not going to worry about that just yet. I think I'm just going to dive in and do some colouring and some chatting. So let's have a look. So I've got a rough kind of swatch chart here that I'm going to use. So I think I'm going to start with the tower, which is this blue colour. I'm trying to keep both images on there. So I think I'm thinking of going with these teal blue, royal blue and Delft blue for that tower. So let me see if I can find those. Just open the pencil case up a bit. Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying these. I've used these Derwent drawing pencils on one page, which was in Rita Berman's Land of Little Adventures book, and they're really nice. I really like them, so I'm looking forward to trying them out on this paper. This is really quite nice paper. It's quite smooth, not quite as smooth as that Kimmer Parrish book that I've got, the So Many Cute Animals book, but still quite, I can't get it to sit flat. It's quite a hefty book, so I'm really struggling to get the spine completely broken there. Yeah, it's quite a thick book. There's lots of pages in this book. Right, let's have a look. What did I say? Teal blue, royal blue, and Delft blue. So let's get those 3 pencils out. That one could do a bit of sharpening. I've been having trouble with my dial sharpener at the moment. It doesn't seem to want to work. I'll give it another go now. Oh yeah, it's working now. It's been a bit temperamental. I don't know why. It works sometimes and not others, but we'll give it a go. Okay, I might have to sharpen that one as well. I'm so sorry. I should have sharpened them off camera, really. Not very organised this morning. Like I say, it's back to work and back to school, and it's kind of been that crazy sort of week of trying to get back into routines and figure out where everybody's supposed to be, and making sure everybody's got all their equipment and school supplies that they need, making packed lunches, all that sort of kind of crazy stuff that goes on when you go back to school, and of course back to work for me. So it's been a bit of a week. I have not done a huge amount. I have managed to get a little bit of colouring done, but it's been quite a just kind of settling back into things. There's been lots of kind of admin-y stuff that I've had to do as well, just little bits and pieces that seem to take up lots of time. It's that kind of start of the year thing, isn't it? Trying to get back to normal after the Christmas break, and but we're getting there. It's nearing the middle of January already, and normally January is one of those months that drags on and on and on, and you feel like it's never going to end. But this month has actually gone quite quickly, for me anyway. I feel like it's kind of flown by so far. Now it's probably going to start dragging now. So I'm just having a look where this is going to go. So I'm going to put some under there as well. Yeah. I'm going to make that dark blue. So because we're kind of looking up at the tower, so we're seeing the base of that. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out perspectives here. So I've just done a really light layer. That was the teal blue. And then I'm going to go in with, the darker one, which is the Delft blue, and add some shadows over the top where I want them to go. So I want this to be quite dark because it's underneath. So it's been a funny week of just kind of getting back to normal, and kind of just trying to slot back into that routine of kind of, having places to be and things to do, and getting kids organised, and getting myself organised. Not always easy sometimes. Right, so I'm just going to... Sorry, I've turned that ever so slightly. I'm trying to keep that in frame. It's quite a small area, this bit, though. Let's see. I'm going to do that bit. A darker blue. I think that bit's underneath. But so I haven't had... I've had a little bit of colouring time, which I've used to kind of get a start on those pages that I showed you. And I've, other than that, not done a great deal. Not done a great deal at all. I want to, I would really like to tidy up my craft room. I kind of, when I moved, I kind of put things in without much due care or consideration. I just kind of was like, right, I just need to get the stuff away. I was in the middle of unpacking a lot of stuff, so I felt like I needed to just kind of get stuff done quite quickly so that I could move on to the next thing. And so I kind of piled things in without much consideration. And I feel like now I am, I'm struggling a little bit. I need to have a bit of a sort out and figure out where things are going to go, and kind of find permanent homes for them, because at the moment it's a little bit chaotic. I'm kind of like I've got homes for things, but they're not in the most practical places. Does that make sense? So I have a lot of craft supplies, and I've had, so I used to do a lot of card making, so I have a huge amount of acrylic stamps, photopolymer stamps they are, not acrylic, but I have a huge amount of stamps, and I need to figure out what I'm going to do with them, because I've probably got far too many. I probably need to have a thin out, but it's kind of like, I also don't want to because I really love them. And they're from some of my favourite brands like Lawn Fawn and Mama Elephant, and just some lovely stamps. Heffy Doodle, which is no longer up and running. I was on the design team for Heffy Doodle for a while. So I have quite a lot of stuff related to my card making days, and I need to try and find a better way of storing them. I haven't done any card making for a long time, although I keep thinking I should get back into it and do a little bit of card making, and try and make some cards, because I'm always looking for birthday cards in particular. I seem to be lacking, seriously. I did give out a few of my handmade Christmas cards over Christmas, which was nice. But yeah, I haven't actually made anything for a long time, so it would be nice to kind of either start using them and put them to good use, or find other homes for them. I don't know. So I'm going to have to think about that. So I do really want to have a big sort out and try and, put things where they need to be. Make my life a little bit easier, because at the moment it's a bit, like a little bit chaotic in this room, and I would prefer it to be a little more organised. And yeah, I hope that makes sense. I just, when you move and you kind of just like, right, I just need to find a home for that. I need to put that somewhere for now, and then I can kind of find a more permanent home for it once everything is kind of in its place. And that hasn't happened. It's kind of just been left in that kind of limbo of me. I've put it there for now, but I haven't moved it and found a more permanent home for it. So yeah, I would like to get on top of that and do something with this room. It's just finding the time. Sometimes it's just so hard to find the time to actually sit down and organize, and it's that balance as well between actually getting some coloring done, because I'd really like to do more coloring, and taking the time out to organize things instead. I don't know, I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet, I think, and do it. Okay, so I feel like this is kind of okay. Just kind of layering this darker, what did I say, Delft blue, just kind of trying to do a little bit of light layers where my shadows are going to be. Okay, now I'm going to come in with this royal blue and go over a little bit of that. So that's kind of where my headspace has been this week, is trying to think about how I can approach this organization business that I need to get on top of, and getting back into routines, and trying to get a bit of colouring done as and when I can. I'm not stressing. Like I say, I'm quite enjoying having multiple pages on the go, and just kind of picking and choosing what I work on. That's been quite fun. It has actually kept my creativity going a little bit, I think. It hasn't you know, like sometimes I kind of get on a page and I'm like, oh, I just have to get it done. And this has kind of been quite a good way of actually just, you know, keeping things fresh and enjoyable and fun. So I've kind of enjoyed that, surprisingly. Although I do plan to finish all my pages before the end of the month, so I don't really want to keep whips going for too long. I kind of want to make sure that they are finished before the end of the month, and not dragging on into other months. Maybe like one page is fine, but I don't know. I'm not ready to do the whole have multiple whips going for long periods of time. I'm easing myself into this whip thing. So yeah, I'm kind of approaching things that way, but I think it's quite good. I've been trying to watch some YouTube videos. I never have enough time to watch all the videos that I want to watch. Did watch a good few the last couple of days. I watched, obviously I watched that Piggy Pen's Tube one about the World Cancer Research Fund initiative that she's created. I like I say, I just think that's brilliant. So I really enjoyed watching that and seeing what she had kind of going on with that. I watched Erica's from Elm Colours. I watched her Weekend Whip video. Always love watching those. She's doing this awesome page in her Eerie book, one of her Eerie books, and I just think it's turning out so lovely. It's made me quite inspired to get my Neo colours out and have a go at creating a background like she's done. It just looks so pretty. It's really soft kind of frosty colours, you know, like soft purples and blues, and it's just a really lovely page. Right, what I'm doing now is just kind of filling in the rest of this with the teal blue, so kind of filling it all out. I'm finding that this paper is quite hard to layer on, and again, because it's quite smooth, it's quite hard to that's what I'm looking for, burnish properly without it going kind of like a little bit I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, like squeaky almost. It kind of has that, and it kind of gets that funny layer on it. So I'm just going quite lightly, and I'm not going to worry too much about burnishing everything in perfectly. It is what it is. You got to kind of work with the paper you got, and I think it's going to look okay anyway. So that's kind of my tower. I just add a little bit more darkness in here in places, just to try and emphasize that. Yeah, so I was watching Erica from Elm Colours, which it's just always her backgrounds and the way she does stuff. I find it really inspiring. It makes me want to pull my stuff, my watercolors, my Neo Color 2s, like I say, my things she does with her backgrounds with her Albrecht Dürer pencils as well. I'm always kind of like, oh, I really want to be able to do that. Mine never work out the same. It's like when you go to the hairdressers and get your hair cut, and they blow dry it and they make it look perfect, don't they? And you go home and you can never get it looking the same. That's how I feel when I watch Erica's videos. I've gone over the lines there. And just like, oh, I can't do it like that. I watched the lovely Lauren from Lauren Reed Colours. She's doing some awesome stuff as well. She's doing a beautiful page using the colour palette that Joanna Stone created for my Rapunzel fairy tale. She's using it on a mythographic dragon spell page, and it's so good. She's just done the base layer so far. Just done a base of alcohol markers, and it looks fantastic. It really does. And that's what I mean when I come to do my mythographic pages, they never turn out quite that way. So yeah, I don't know what it is I'm doing wrong. Right, I think I'm going to leave it at that, because I'm struggling to get any more layers on there. It's becoming quite waxy and kind of blooming a little bit. I'm going to try, I've gone over the lines there a little bit. I'm going to try and clean that up. There's my eraser. without going too much off again, and just add a little bit more in there again. Just want to keep those lines quite sharp. Okay, I mean, it's not an exact replica, but it's okay. It's done. These pencils, I mean, they are really good, but they're really thick. They've got a really thick core, so they are brilliant. But yeah, I find that I'm quite clumsy with them because they are so thick. Okay, what should we do now? Should we do a little bit of the tower? What colours could I use for that? It's kind of got this almost like I think more like a Mars violet. And then it's kind of got these, so maybe some warm grey, maybe some warm earth. Yeah, maybe a mixture of those colours. So warm grey, warm earth and Mars violet. Warm grey, warm earth. And is that Mars violet? There. Okay, so and then I might just do light layers of these and see how we go, and then I can add some shading over the top with something else. So just to kind of lay out my colours. So this is the Mars violet. It's kind of got this slight violety hue to it, not a huge amount, but it's there. So I'm just going to add this in a few little places, a few bricks. Now hopefully I can get a similar result to what's going on over here. Might even pull in a little bit of like a slaty colour as well, maybe. Let's see how this looks. So just starting with a light layer of this. Now, how does that go? So she's got okay. I want all of that to be one colour if I'm looking at that one. And then these kind of bits over here. The rest of the bricks. Okay. Yeah, kind of just, I'll just do this top part of the tower and see how this looks when I'm done. So this one is the warm earth. So this is kind of a more like, it's almost got like an olivey tone to it. Again, just do a couple of bricks in this colour. See if we can get it looking and then I don't know what I'll use as like a shadow colour for this. Might have to bring in like maybe like a Payne's grey or something. I don't know, will that work? I haven't really planned this page out in terms of what colours I'm using. I've just kind of gone for it and hoped for the best. Right, and then I'm going to use this warm grey. Again, I'm really sorry, I'm going to have to sharpen this one because it's not sharp. At least my sharpener's working again because it was, like I said, it's just being really temperamental. I don't know if it was just what pencils was I using? The Chromaflow pencils that I was using on my Kimmer Parish page. So I don't know whether it's just from using those. Right, so I'm just going to do the rest of the bricks in this kind of warm grey colour. Like I said, I'm just kind of doing a light layer at the moment. I'm hoping it's going to look okay. And then I can add some shadow. This definitely makes it look a little bit more interesting than just doing one kind of colour the whole way around. So it's still going to be that stone, it's just going to be darker on the inside. Where does this go here? I think that goes like that. Just a bit of her hair. Right, so I'm just going to work on the top of this tower to begin with so I can figure out what I'm going to do before I move on to the rest of it. Okay, so how am I going to shade this? Do I want to just do one colour to shade it? I could try using, let's see, kind of like a neutral grey. So what have I got? I've got this carbon grey. I might just try using this to kind of shade things. So I'm definitely going to have some shadow in here. Where it's kind of like, it's almost like another bit that's jutting out of the tower. And then I'm going to have some shadow under here. It's nice being able to refer to the picture on the other side so you can kind of see where things are going to go. So there's a bit of shadow under there for sure. There's definitely shadow under here. Like that. And then maybe got a slight bit of shadow down the side. And we've sort of already got a little bit of shadow in there. We'll add a little bit more down here. Just a little bit. Like that. Probably have a bit of shadow down this edge bit. And definitely some underneath here. And down here. Okay, it's already kind of starting to come to life a little bit. A bit more down there. I feel like that needs to come down a little bit, like that. Okay, it's definitely given that more dimension. I'm going to put a little bit in between each of my bricks as well. Hopefully, I'm hoping this is going to work out. Don't know. I don't think it's going to take too long to colour this page though. Once the tower is done, it's really just the trees and the grass down here. I mean, the characters themselves won't take long because they're only tiny. I put a little bit in between there. Sharpen that up. I might just add a little bit in spots on these bricks because these bricks are quite large, so just add a little bit of just a tiny bit of darkness on these ones. Okay, I don't think that's too bad. I'm going to go back in with my other colours now and kind of fill these in a little bit. Really like these Derwent drawing pencils. They're really lovely. I'm so happy I bought them. So happy I got them in the sale. They're quite expensive, but yeah, they are really nice. Great for kind of muted colour palettes. And I am normally drawn to like bright, colourful palettes, but yeah, every now and then it's nice to have a bit more of a muted look. I'm trying to be a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, I'm trying to do a bit more layering with my colouring these days as well. I'm not just doing kind of straight blends. I'm trying to layer colours a little bit more. Still not perfect at it. Like, I've still got a lot to learn. But I'm trying it out. And trying to take my time. It does... I kind of thought it would make pages go a lot slower, but it doesn't actually. It's a little bit more, there's a little bit more thought involved, I guess, in layering, isn't there, rather than just kind of straight blends. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. So I am trying to be a little bit more thoughtful with my colouring and a bit more intentional with my colouring in general this year. That's one of my goals. So this is definitely helping a little bit. I don't know, what do we think? It's not the same as this one. It's not gonna be. But I don't think it's too bad. I did think about basing with some water-based markers because the paper was so smooth, and in the end I decided against it, but I don't know, maybe that would have been a good idea. Just, yeah, because like I say, the paper is super smooth, and it's quite hard to get pencil to go down well on super smooth paper without having something to kind of, like the water-based marker might give it a bit of a tooth. Right, just having a look at this bit. I'm going to use that. Like that. Okay, so that's kind of what my towel is going to look like. Don't know, what do we think? I feel like I'm struggling. Just put a dot on there. I feel like I'm struggling to get it really nicely blended out. Like I say, because the paper's so smooth, it's not taking those layers particularly well. Don't know. I'm going to deepen those shadows just a bit. Just want to make them a little bit sharper. What do we think? I think that's going to look okay. I'll hold it up so you can see it a bit better. What do we think that's looking like? I think it's okay. I mean, it's not an exact replica, but it's not too bad. Maybe a little bit more of a slaty colour would have been good, but anyway, it's too late now. Right, so what comes next? Kind of got these kind of bits in between, so I'm just going to use that warm grey again and do these bits. Yeah, so what else can I talk about? I feel like I haven't done much this week just because it's yeah, like I say, being back to work, back to school for the kids, just kind of all that kind of back to routine stuff, which is kind of nice in a lot of ways. Like, I don't mind a bit of routine, but it's just kind of like settling back. And let's see what they've done there. I'm going to colour that bit as well. I've been watching some good TV, actually. So there is a series called The Night Manager, and I had not seen it before. The first series is, as far as I know, is quite old. It's been out for a while. I had never seen it, and so my husband and I started watching it, and it was really good. It's a little bit far-fetched in some ways, but it was a good watch. It was entertaining, and it was good. It's got Tom Hiddleston in it. For those of you that are, is it Marvel? I don't know. He's Loki in the Thor movies. So yeah, he's in it, and he's actually very, very good. He's a very good actor. It's also got Olivia Colman in the first series, who is just brilliant. I just love her. So that's been really good. I really enjoyed watching that. Like I say, it's been entertaining. It's a little bit kind of, well, I say a little bit. It's a little bit far-fetched in some ways, but it's also just, yeah, it is very good, very entertaining. So we've been watching that. I haven't been doing much reading. I would like to do more reading. I really would. So I really need to find some time to do some reading, because I do enjoy a book. I just haven't had a chance to read much lately. I did get given a book at Christmas time, and I cannot for the life of me remember the name of it now. But yeah, I need to do some more reading. I was watching, what was I watching of Erica's from Elm Colours? She did her end of year recap, and she talked about books, and she gave a ton of book recommendations. So I wrote them all down, because I do feel like Erica and I would have quite similar tastes. So I like fantasy kind of stuff when I'm reading. So she had a ton of recommendations, so I have written them all down, and I am hoping that I can find them. I haven't actually searched for them yet, but I'm hoping that I can find them on Amazon relatively easily enough. Sometimes some of the stuff that they get in the States you can't get quite as easily over here, but yeah, I'm hoping I can find those, because like I say, I do want to do a bit more reading, and I do feel like Erica and I have relatively similar tastes, so I think that would be good. And like I say, I just want to do more. I just want to do more reading. I never seem to have the time. I do a lot of reading with my son. So my son he's 11, and he can read very well on his own, but he doesn't like reading. He's quite happy to sit and listen to stories, so which I'm thankful for, because I really like to read to my kids. I've read to all of my kids when they were little. I used to read to all of them. I've read the Harry Potter series 4 times now, once by myself and once with each of my children. Yeah, it's nice. And we've been reading the Alex Rider series of books, which are really good, actually. They're kind of like about, I don't know if you know Alex Rider, but it's about a kind of, he's a teenage spy, works for MI6, and yeah, he gets into all sorts of stuff. But it's really cool, and he's kind of like James Bond, teenage James Bond. He's got like gadgets, and yeah, it's cool. I've really enjoyed reading that with my son, and we both get quite into it. So it's a lot of fun. So I have been reading with him, but I don't get to do a great deal of personal reading. Well, yeah, that, and I've also just really struggled to get into books lately. I've started things and then just really struggled to get into them. I don't know. I feel like maybe I'm not giving them enough of a chance. The last like really good thing that I read and that I really loved was the Akatar series, and I could not put them down. It's A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas, and I devoured the entire series, like just devoured it and couldn't get enough of it. But I haven't read anything like that, nothing that's really kind of taken my fancy like that for a while, and I think I just miss that feeling of like being completely enthralled in a book world and just dying to know what's going to happen. And you have that horrible sense of you don't want to read too fast because you don't want the book to be over, but you also have to read fast because you have to know what's going to happen next. And yeah, I just haven't, I don't know, I haven't found a book like that for a long time, and I'm kind of missing it. I really want to get into a good series. So I have written down all those recommendations by Erica. I'm going to go and check them out, see if I can find something. Like I say, I would really like to get back into my reading. I used to do a lot of reading. I did a lot of reading as a child. I have a degree in English language and literature, so you know I have I've read a lot of stuff, but yeah, just struggle to find the time these days. I just need to make time to do that. When we lived in the UAE, I used to sit in, so I used to have to go and pick the kids up from school, and I used to sit in the car and read, and it was because I had to get there quite early to get parking spaces. I don't miss that in some ways, but that was kind of my reading time, and now I've lost that because my kids now catch the bus to school, so I don't have to pick them up or drop them off. So I've lost that kind of bit of reading time that I had, that I had carved out for myself a little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna have to find other ways of finding time to read, and maybe just make time, just force myself. Not force myself because that makes it sound like it's a chore, and it's not. It's something that I really enjoy doing. But yeah, like I say, I've struggled a little bit. So if you've got any good recommendations for books, let me know. I'd love to know. Always on the lookout for a good book. Yeah, I like revisiting old favorites as well. I do like revisiting and rereading old, things that I've enjoyed in the past. I haven't reread the Court of Thorns and Roses series. Maybe I could do that. Maybe I could sit down with those and reread them. I think I got rid of all the books when we moved, though. I think I decided to give them to somebody else, and who I thought would enjoy the series. But yeah, like one of my all-time favorites, and it's a bit of a cliche because I'm sure it's a lot of people's favorites, is Pride and Prejudice, and I can literally pick that up and read it again and again and again, and get lots of joy from it. It's just a comforting read. I really like it. So yeah, maybe I could just pick that up and use that to kind of ease myself back into the reading habit. But yeah, if you've got any recommendations, I would love to hear from you. I did actually sit down and watch a movie. I'm a bit like that with movies as well. I can watch the same movie over and over again if it's like a bit of a comfort watch. And one of my it's kind of a heartbreaking movie, but it's also so lovely, is Me Before You. And I sat down and watched that the other day and had a good cry because it is just so heartbreaking. And yeah, so I sat down and watched that in floods of tears. That's quite cathartic as well. Yeah, it's really moving. But yeah, I can do that with movies as well. I can watch movies over and over again and watch the same thing and just, yeah, not get sick of them. Quite happy to watch them over and over again. But yeah, if you've got any good recommendations, movies, TV series, books, I'd love to know. Always on the lookout for good things to watch and read, and yeah. I'm not very good at just sitting still. My husband's always moaning about it. I normally have something that I'm doing. So when I'm watching TV, I don't tend to colour. I find it quite hard to colour while, like, on my lap, even with a tray. I find that quite difficult. I like to be at my desk when I colour. So I don't colour in the evenings when I'm watching TV, but I will do knitting or some cross stitch, or something along those lines. I will do something, and my husband's always like, you can't just sit and watch. I'm like, no, I can't. I've got to do something. So yeah, I did finish off a pair of socks the other day, which I now have on my feet, and they're very cozy. They've got cashmere in them, so they're very cozy and warm and soft, and yeah, there's nothing like hand knit socks, honestly. I tend to make them for myself because yeah, I can't bear to part with them. I do occasionally give them as gifts to people, but I always find that other people are just not appreciative of hand knit socks, especially ones that you have to hand wash. Like these ones will have to be hand washed because they have cashmere in them, so I can't just chuck them in the washing machine. Yeah, people tend to be a little less careful. And I'm like, I can't give all that work away for nothing. So I tend to just wear them myself, which is nice. So I have a good supply of nice hand knit socks to keep my feet warm in this cold weather, but that's good. So yeah, I'm not very good at just sitting and watching. Always seem to have something on the go. I really want to get back into my patchworking. I did make a lovely patchwork, I say lovely, it turned out okay, a patchwork table runner, and I was very proud of it because it was my first ever kind of patchwork thing that I've actually managed to achieve, and actually managed to make. I've never had a huge amount of luck with my patchwork, but I did make that, and I really liked the way it turned out. And it was, I guess, quite an autumnal kind of theme. It was little toadstools on a table runner, and I would quite like to make one for each of the seasons so that I have a nice little table runner for each of the seasons. So I'm thinking I need to start making a spring one. I'm not going to get I'm not going to get a winter one done before the end of winter. So I thought I might as well, yeah, I might try and make a spring-like one. I don't know what I'm going to put on it. Maybe I can find some flowers or something, and make a block out of flowers. I don't know, but yeah, that's a plan that I would like. Again, it's just finding time for all of these, ideas and projects and things that I want to do. Not enough hours in the day. So I am going to try and start listening to my audiobooks again when I'm colouring, because there was one that I'd started and it was really fascinating, and I didn't get very far into it. And it was called, what's it called? It was something to do with vampires, by J. Christoph. I can't think of the name of it. The Empire of the Vampire or something like that. And it started so well, and I just kind of didn't get time to listen to it, and it kind of fell by the wayside. I would like to listen to that again because it was really cool. It was a really good book, and I was enjoying it. So I'm going to have to try and re-download that and listen to it again. It is we're so lucky with our library membership, so you can obviously get a free membership to the library, but with that library membership you get access to free audiobooks, audio downloads, and also like a Kindle, like downloading ebooks, which I think is such a good idea, especially we live in quite a rural area, so people might not be able to get to the library easily. I just think that's such a great idea. So that's where I managed to download it from, and it's just awesome. I just think it's such a good service. So I was really impressed with that. But I also love libraries. I like going into my library and, you know, all those possibilities, all those books. It's like having, you know, my colouring book collection. Just look at it and see all the possibilities. It's quite exciting. So yeah, but yeah, I do have to get into more reading. I have to find some time to get some more reading done. But like I said, I've just struggled. I've kind of picked up a few books over the last few months, and I've started them, and not quite, kind of, I don't know, it's got a little bit of a funny colour in it. But yeah, just struggled to get into anything, you know, struggled to sink my teeth into something really good. So yeah, always on the lookout for good books. But like I said, I'm going to go and check out those recommendations from Erica and see what I think of those, and maybe I can find something good. Trouble is, if you find something good, then everything else falls by the wayside as well, because you just want to keep reading. So yeah, it can be a double-edged sword, can't it? You don't actually achieve anything else. Like my colouring would probably fall by the wayside if I found a really good book that I couldn't stop reading. So yeah, it's a double-edged sword, that one. But yeah, I would like to find something good. But yeah, other than that, it's just kind of, it's been I guess it's kind of like boring, really. It's a boring week, just getting back to routine, just getting back to normality, you know, school lunches, dinners, all that sort of stuff. Nothing particularly exciting going on, but just kind of getting back to normal after the whole Christmas thing. And I was talking about it with my work colleagues, and we were saying about how funny Christmas is, because it's such a build up, particularly for the little ones that I work with at school. It's such a huge deal for them. It's such this huge big build up, and then it's just over, you know. It's just done, and it's kind of like this huge I won't say letdown, but you know what I mean. It's like this like, oh, that was it. It's over. It's just, you know, one day and it's gone and it's done, and it's kind of like, oh, well, now what? You know, it's quite hard for them to kind of accept, you know, this whole kind of, it is a month. It's sometimes longer than a month of build up towards this one day, and it's all just over so quickly. But yeah, it's they also are quite resilient, aren't they, kids? So they get over it pretty quickly. But you know what I mean? It's kind of like, oh, it's done. What are we going to do now? What's next? But it does make me laugh, because I walked into the supermarket and obviously all the Christmas stock has now disappeared, and it's been replaced by Easter stuff already. I'm like, crikey, we've got ages. It's months until Easter. I know Easter's quite early this year, I think, isn't it? But it's still like, wow, it's there already. Yeah. It's just like, one thing's done, let's move on to the next. Yeah, but I guess that's the way that marketing works these days, isn't it? You kind of always got to have something to market and promote. But yeah, I wasn't ready for it. It was like still December, and there was Easter stuff going out on the shelves. I was like, what is going on here? But yeah, I think that's quite funny. I don't know what we're going to be doing. Obviously, we get another holiday at Easter time, which will be nice. I don't know what we're going to be doing. I'm hoping the weather will be a little bit nicer. We can maybe go out and explore the countryside a little bit. Yeah, I've enjoyed the last few days. It's been really cold. It has been very cold. Like I said, we had a bit of snow, which has now kind of just turned to sheet ice. But it's been sunny, and I like those crisp cold days. Yes, it's cold, but at least it's sunny. You can still get out and do stuff. So yeah, I have enjoyed the weather recently. It's been nice. But yeah, we haven't done a great deal. It's just kind of been staying warm, staying cozy. We did go up and visit family yesterday, which was nice. We had a nice meal out, which was really good. It's nice to be closer to family again and be able to spend time with them. So that was good. But yeah, haven't done a great deal else. Haven't really done anything of great consequence lately. Just kind of been, like I say, easing back into that routine and that kind of lunches, dinners, activities are starting back again. Sports activities, clubs, all that sort of thing, have all kind of started up again, and just that kind of stuff really. The day to day. We are trying to plan a bit of a family holiday at some point. It may well be my daughter's last kind of family holiday for a while, because next year she's going to be gearing up to start university. I'm really not ready for that. I feel like I want to hold on to her for a bit longer, but she's ready to go. I think she's been ready to go for many years. She's quite an independent soul. But yeah, that's kind of, it's kind of a big thing, and it's going to be hard when the time comes to say goodbye. Obviously it's not goodbye forever, is it? But you know what I mean. It's the start of that idea of your kids, leaving home and moving out and moving on with their own lives, and not quite ready for it. I want to hold on to her for a bit longer. But you also want them to, be able to go out into the world and experience life and all that it offers, all the good and often sometimes bad things as well. But it's all things that they've got to find out for themselves. But yeah, it's quite hard. It's quite hard. So yeah, we're hoping for one last kind of family holiday together, and maybe there'll be others as well in the future, but we kind of feel like we're starting that process of saying goodbye to people, and I've still got a little while. My two other boys are still quite young, so I've got them around for a while, but I'm gonna miss my daughter when she heads off to uni. Hopefully it won't be too far away and we'll be able to visit. Much to discuss, I'm sure. She's, like I say, she's an independent soul, that one, which is great in a lot of ways. I do feel like she's quite sensible and is probably quite capable of looking after herself, but still want to feel needed, don't you? Right, I think I'm going to leave it there. I've kind of jabbered on enough. I'm going to kind of finish this bit off the same way that I've done that. I don't think it's perfect. It's looking okay. It's not exactly the same, but there's nothing wrong with being a little bit different. And then I think once I've done the tower, I don't think it's going to take too long to do the rest of these little bits. And then I'm just going to figure out what I'm going to do with this background and how I'm going to approach that. But yeah, hopefully I can show you what I've done next week. Thank you all so much for joining me. Don't forget, I'll leave the link down below to Piggy Pen's Tube channel and the video that she's created in relation to the World Cancer Research Fund project, initiative, I should say, really, that she's got going on in February, which I think is just fantastic. So please do support that. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I hope to see you all again very soon. Take care, everybody. Bye.